Alright, say hi, Ian.
Hey.
What's up, y'all? Welcome back to another video. In this video, we're going to be talking about trusting the process and not getting discouraged. Right now, I got a guest feature with me. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
I'm Ian. I go by that kid.
In this video, like I said, y'all, we're going to be talking about trusting the process. I feel like, a lot of people, whenever they go through life, they're trying to figure out how to have the perfect steps in life, what the perfect moves are, and trying to fulfill big roles that they want to accomplish for themselves. And when they don't fulfill them, they start to get discouraged. They start to feel like what they're trying to go for or what they're trying to obtain isn't obtainable. And I'm curious, what do you say to people that feel discouraged and want to go through the process of life?
I feel as if being discouraged is a normal thing. It's a comfortable feeling sometimes. I think a lot of times people can overestimate what being discouraged actually is, right? So being discouraged is the opposite of courage. So if you can't be brave in a situation, 9 times out of 10, you're gonna quit in the middle of that period because you don't want to face that struggle anymore, right? So if you can't find the bravery or the courage to begin overcome your fears, then where are you gonna start at, right? You gotta know that at the same time as you're going through life, sometimes I feel discouraged personally. I've been in a lot of situations where I have been discouraged, and it's gonna be like that sometimes. But for me personally, I had to realize that's what's gonna make character. What am I gonna do even when I feel like I'm discouraged? Like, what's the actions I'm gonna still take? Like, what am I still gonna pursue in life? Am I just gonna give up? Am I just gonna, let my foot off the pedal? Or am I gonna continue to encourage myself? Because motivation is something that you can get from a video and music and stuff like that, things that you see. But self-motivation and encouraging yourself, that takes real strength. That takes real skill. That takes real ability.
I think that the other key thing is that a lot of people, they try to focus on perfection instead of progression. And so when they start, going through life and they're trying to be perfect, they're trying to see, what really works for them in life, and it doesn't start moving forward, they feel like they're making no progress. And I think that when people are focused on the progression and the small increments, a lot of people say be better 1% every day. And that's because it's the focus on the progression, the overall steps it takes for you to get better. And if you focus on trying to be perfect all the time, trying to show up for people all the time, it could put you in a position where, you feel like you might be falling short, and it might be discouraging to you. And like Ian was saying, discouraging is the opposite of courage. And if you don't have courage to really get out of your shell or really keep moving forward, it could really hinder your success. Another thing I would add, just making sure that you stay consistent in whatever it is that you're working on, because the things that you are trying to obtain, the things that you're trying to go for, if you start feeling like you're falling short too quickly or too consistently, then you want to give up. I think that consistency is what pushes you through the hard times. Whatever mental challenges you're going through, whatever friendship challenges that you're going through, relationship challenges, if you're not consistent in trying to build yourself and trying to work on yourself to improve these things, then it can really hinder yourself. And if you're not patient with yourself to be able to be focused on, the small goals, and like I said, the being better every single day, then it can really take a mental toll on you. And I think that if you're sitting here and you're like, yeah, I just don't feel like I'm making any progress, and you feel discouraged, then it can really hinder the consistency that you have in your life. What do you have to say about that, Ian?
I believe that consistency is something that comes with a lot more than what we think about. I think consistency is a umbrella effect, which means it comes with a lot more, right? It comes with pride, ego, it comes with strength, it comes with, adversity, things like that. But at the same time, it's coming with abundance, right? So when you are consistent, that means a lot of things that you're gaining is things that you don't see. So don't be fooled whenever your eyes aren't seeing the numbers or the views or the money that you want or like the house that you might not have or anything like that. Don't confuse that with not being consistent though. You know what I'm saying? You got to know that consistency comes with a balance and pride and ego and things like that, because if you have too much pride, then you won't do the work that it's gonna take to get consistent or to do the things that you want to do or to see the progress that you want to see, right? You got to think about outcomes. If you think about outcomes rather than results and things like that, you're gonna become a person of goals, right? So to be consistent, you have to realize that whenever you have an outcome, if I want to achieve greatness, if I want to be a speaker and speak to millions someday, I have to be comfortable with speaking to myself on this camera right now. I have to be comfortable with speaking to myself in my mind, how I talk to myself, how I view myself, and to do things like that. It starts with you first. That's how you become consistent. If you can become consistent in your own habits, then everything else that you want to do in life, you'll achieve. It'll be easy for you. You can just go on to the next step. And the next step is just something that you just want to do. Now you did what you have to do. You did the works that you had to do. Now you get to do things that you want to do. All right? The same way your parents didn't let you go outside until you did the chores in the crib. You gotta wash your dishes before you go spend the night at your homeboy crib, right? You know what I'm saying? Before you gotta go play the video games, you gotta do homework. So consistency comes with being prepared for yourself and what you have, and to get better at what you're doing, your own habits, your mentality, the way you talk to yourself in order to achieve the outcome that you want to.
I agree with that. I think it does definitely start with yourself. You know, when it starts with yourself, it really, you realize that you're in control of what you have going on. I feel like whenever you go back to the thought of being discouraged, you know, I always question, like, do you have enough self-belief in you? Like, do you believe that you can even do what you're trying to do? Or were you just trying something out? You know, were you doing it because you were peer pressured into doing it? Or maybe you wanted to follow the footsteps of your parents. You know, sometimes you start hearing people, especially people that go to school, you know, you'd be like, what are you gonna major in? They're like, oh, I wanna get in the medical field, I wanna do engineering. And it's like, why do you wanna do that? And they're like, because my dad did it, because my mom's in the medical field. And it's like, are you trying to fill the roles of, you know, what you're used to and what the expectations of them are on you? Or is it because you naturally want to do the things that you want to do? And if you feel like the belief comes from, you know, other people having to believe in you for you to actually achieve what you want to do, then no wonder why you're discouraged. No wonder why you don't feel like you're confident enough to be in a position that you want to be in, because you're not doing what you want to do. You're trying to live up to the roles of everyone else. And so, you know, have belief in yourself, because that's where it starts. And I think that, you know, whenever you're going through life and you're going to come across different people are going to give you belief, and they're going to give you hope, and they're going to give you, you know, they're going to tell you things about yourself. But hopefully they're telling you things about yourself, not telling you things about someone that you want to be. And that goes back to me saying, like, you know, you're trying to fulfill the roles or fulfill the shoes of someone else, and it could really hinder who you are and who you want to become. So that's what I have to say about that.
It goes all back as well as what he said earlier whenever we first started the episode, was trusting the process, right? Christ was a carpenter for 30 years before he became who God wanted him to walk into, right? Before he started doing the Sermon on the Mount for those 3 years and then dying at 33, right? So for a long time, you're going to spend your phases in the carpenter phase, the building phase, right? You're going to spend a lot of times working, right? A lot of times not sleeping as much, waking up early, doing the work. But at the end of the day, doing that same work is going to become something that is going to be consistent for you. That's another thing right there. Just simply knowing to trust the process. And as Elijah said, not letting people peer pressure you into who you think you want to be, right? Because that's not who you truly want to be, right? You want to be who you want to be, whoever you had in your mind whenever you were 5 or 6 years old and you were telling your parents what you wanted to do in life, right? It might have changed over time, but you know what's pulling you, what's gravitating towards you, right? What do you attract? The things that comes natural to you, right? So that's just trusting the process. And if you're not going to become the person that they want you to become in the time limit that they want you to have it, or to be the person or have the achievements in the time limit that they want you to have or the way that they want you to have it, you know what I'm saying? That's not always, your concern, right? It's not always really necessary for how you want to live your life. You have to make your moves the way that you want to make them, and you're going to have to go through the mistakes and the consequences, whether they're good or bad. So whenever you're going through those consequences, be consistent on that. Be consistent on your mood, your mental, your attitude towards everything. Know that you made that decision. Be confident in your decision, and know that whatever you do, just stick to it. That's it.
Well, yeah, y'all, this is going to be a quick video just to wrap it up. Stay consistent in who you are. Understand that the beliefs that you have in yourself is what's going to be the leading factor in who you are. And, you know, whenever you overcome challenges and you face challenges, you have to know who to depend on, and to look to God, and to look to your close circle and your close friends that you have, because they're going to be the people that can guide you and that can help you in any of those type of situations. So that's really all I got for this video, y'all. That's going to wrap it up. Follow me on socials. It'll be King Malone. You can follow him.
That kid, you know what I'm saying? THTKIDD_ROOM Instagram.
Yeah, you can go to that. You can just see it. I'll put it right there, and you guys can go follow that. But until then, I will catch y'all in the next video. Gone.